Hello everyone, we will start our today's class. In the last classes we were discussing about strings, and we studied many library functions or built-in functions to act on strings, like copying a string to another array, or concatenating two strings, reversing a string, finding the length of the string. First we saw the library functions or built-in functions, and then we started implementing our own way. Instead of using the built-in functions, we started implementing our own way the string operations. And in the last class we have seen some basic operations like finding the length of a string, then uh, copying a string to another one, copying a string to another array, creating a copy of a string. Then we saw concatenating two strings, that means combining two strings to create a single string. And I think that much we have seen. Today we will learn two more operations with respect to the strings, how to do those operations without using the built-in functions. The first one is reversing a string. So all of you might be knowing like what is meant by reversing a string. Basically putting the characters in the reverse order. Okay, so we'll first see the what is the logic behind that, what is the core idea of doing the reverse operation. So if the string input string is hello, the output should be OLLEH. That is the expectation. Okay, that is what reversing a string means. The characters will be put in the exactly reverse order. Okay, so we will do it on the same array. If I have an array stored with the string hello, in the same array we will put the characters in the reverse order. That means the original string will be lost. The original string will be lost, and we will have the modified string, which is the reverse of the original string. Okay. Now there are two steps in this operation, reversing a string. So first one is we need to find the length of the string, and we have already studied the logic for finding the length of the string. This is the logic that we have studied, how to find the length of the string. Initially length will be 0, and we'll check whether the first character, when len is 0, first character is obtained by strlen, that means str0. If it is not /0, we increase the count of length by 1. So length will be increased to 1. Now len is 1, we will check str1, that means the second character. If that is also not /0, we will again increment. So this way, until we find /0, we are going to keep incrementing the value of len, and when /0 is found, we will come out of this loop. That time the value of len will be the length of that string. So in this case we will get 5 as the value, because this length of this string is 5 characters. We will not consider /0 when we are computing the length of the string. So this we have learned in the last class. Okay, yeah, that is phase 1. Now we are getting into the logic of how to find reverse of the string. So what we do is, for finding the reverse of the string, ignore the programming part. How the logic is, we take the first character and the last character and exchange them. In the last Saturday lab, I showed actually how to exchange the values of two elements in an array. Use a temporary variable and exchange the values. So what we do is, we take the first character, and I'm not explaining the logic of the program, but how the logic, how the reversing operation works. Not exact the program code I'm explaining, how reversal is taking place. So what we do is, take the first and last characters and exchange them. So O will be coming here, H will be coming here. Now take the second and second last character and exchange them. So L will be coming here, E will be coming here. Okay. Now we are left with only one character. This anyway in the original order as well as in the reverse order, the middle character will be same for this string. Okay. So I don't need to exchange it with anyone, any other character. Okay. So here I will not do any exchange. So as a result, now what I got the reverse of the original string. This was the input. I got the reverse of the original string. So when the length here the length of the string is 5 characters. So when the length of the string is 5 characters, the middle element will not be like will be same in both the original string as well as the reversed string. So we don't need to worry about the middle element. Okay, when the length of the string is odd number. So length here is 5. So what we did, exchange the first and last characters, then second and second last character, and this one, the last character we don't need to exchange. It will be same in both the versions, this as well as this. So this is the way the program works. Now if you take another one odd even length string. Okay, so I will add an n here, n here. So the original string is, or we'll take another string, probably welcome. Welcome has 7 characters. We need an even number. Okay, let's tweak it. Only even number length we want. So e will omit. So our input is C O M /0. So this is the string welcome without that last e. The length of the string is 6. First we are going to compute that. Length of the string is 6 characters. Now what we do, take the first character and the last character and exchange them. So here M will come, here W will come. Now take the second character and the second last character. So here E will come. No, here O will come. Here E will come. Then take the third character and third last character. Here C will come. Here L will come. So if we reverse the original string, we are going to get the same thing. M O C E no M O C L E W. MOCLEW. We got the reverse of the original string. So this is the logic we are going to apply to get a string reversed. Now we need to understand how the program works. How we are picking up the first and last character, exchanging that, second and second last character, exchanging that. It goes on like that. Okay. So if the length of the string is odd, the middle letter will not be, there will be only one middle character that will not be changed. But if the length of the string is even, there will be 2 middle letters. We cannot pinpoint one letter as the middle one. So these 2 are the middle ones. This will also be exchanged. That is the only difference. But in the program logic implementation we are going to write, there is no such issue. The same code will work for both the cases, even length string as well as the odd length string. Okay. So we'll revert back to the original. So this is the original input. Okay. Now we find the length of the string using the previous logic we already learned. Length of the string is 6. Now reversal is done by this implementation, this code. Reversal done by this. You see that loop for I is equal to 0, I less than len by 2. I less than len by 2. What is len by 2? Len is 6. That means len by 2 is 3. So our loop is I equal to 0, I less than 3, I plus plus for this input. Okay, so that means here it will be 3 len by 2 3. So for which all values this loop is going to execute? For I is equal to 0, for I equal to 1, for I equal to 2. When I becomes 3, 3 less than 3 is false, so the loop will not execute. Okay, now what is there in the loop? Only 3 lines of code. The character at index I am going to copy it into a temporary variable. So my temp is, so initially I is equal to 0, so my character is W, so temp will become W. Temp will have the value W. Okay, now what I am going to do is stri, that means str0 equal to str len minus I minus 1. If it is not visible, I'll just enlarge it. Len minus I minus 1. Len is 3, I is 0. It will become 3 minus 0 minus 1, that is 2. 3 minus 0 is 3, minus 1 is 2. So this, it will effectively become str2. No, sorry, len is 6. Len is 6. 6 minus, not 3. Len by 2 is 3. Len by 2 is 3. Len is 6. So this will become 3 minus 0 minus 1. So 3 minus 0 minus 1 equal to 2. Sorry, again I am going to 3. It is 6. Len is 6. 6 minus 0 minus 1 is 5. What is there in the fifth as a fifth at index 5? I have m. So what I am doing is, when I is equal to, at I equal to 0, that is to the first location, I am copying the character at index 5. To index 0, I am copying the character at index 5. Len minus I minus 1, that is 6 minus 0 minus 1 is 5. So it will effectively become 5, and I value is already 0. So I am going copying the character at index 5 to here. So this will become m, right? So I'll retain the, okay. So the last character, len minus I minus 1 is giving me the last character. I am copying it into the first location in the array where I is equal to 0. Now str len minus I minus 1, that is str5, 6 minus I 0 minus 1, str5, I am putting the character in temporary variable. In temporary variable we had copied W. So what I am doing is, this character I am copying into this first using this line of code, then W I am putting here. So the first the first and last characters are exchanged. First character was W, last character was M. I have put last character here, first character here. Again I will be incremented. We are going to the next iteration of the loop. I will be incremented to 1. Then we copy the second character, str1 is second character, into temporary variable. A temporary variable is stored for a value temporarily. Okay, so in the temporary variable I am copying E, the second character. Now str2 to this location, str1 to this location, I want to copy which character? This one. How I am getting that? Len minus I minus 1 only. Now len is 6, that is not changing. I is now 1. So len minus 1 minus 1, that means len minus 2, that is 6 minus 1 minus 1, that will be 4. So the element at index 4, that is O, will be copied into this location. So here O will come. Then in this location what will be put? The element we have stored in temporarily stored E. E will be copied due to this statement. str4 str6 minus 1 minus 1 str4 will be assigned with the value in temp, which is in temp I have E. This way second character and the second last character are exchanged. O comes here, E goes here. Now I will be incremented to 2. That means this element will be picked. This will be put, this will be stored into the temporary variable. I is 2, so at index 2 I have small l, that is copied here. Now to this str2 what I will copy, 6 minus 2 minus 1, that is 3. 6 minus 2 minus 1 is 3. So at index 3 what I have, C. So this I will put here, and to this location str3 I am going to put the temporary variable. So temporary variable is having small l as the value, so I get the reverse. So welcome, we have got the reverse of the string, and finally we can print this. Is this logic clear to you? Is this logic clear? Take the first and last character, exchange. Again take the second and second last character, exchange. Keep on do it until as long as I less than len by 2 is. Len by 2 what I mean is I need to do till the middle of the given string. From both ends we keep on exchanging, so we need to do until the middle of the string, so that the characters at the right side will be placed in left side in the reverse order, and characters in the left half will be put in the right side in the reverse order. Is it clear, this logic? Somebody respond. Is it clear? So basically this len minus I minus 1 we are using to get the corresponding character in the other end. When the first character we are considering, we want to take the last character. For that we use len minus I minus 1. Len is the length of the string, I is the index variable, value of the index variable or index variable we are considering. So when this is 0, that means we are taking the first character, I is equal to 0, first character. Correspondingly we will get the last character using len minus I minus 1. 6 minus 0 minus 1 is 5. At index 5 we will have the last character. Then exchange. Exchanging is done using a temporary variable. Element in the first location we put it into a temporary variable. Then at first location we put the last character, and at last location we put the first character. Is it clear? Somebody respond, or do you want an explanation further? Gauri, did you understand?
Yes, sir.
Jay Lakshmi, did you understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I'll just demonstrate that. So this is going to work both odd length and even length string. Same logic is going to work for both odd and even length string. Okay. So this loop is used for finding the length of the string. So that you know already. So probably we will use this one only. This welcome is the input string. So length is 0 initially, then first character is found 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7. Welcome has 7 characters. After that slash 0 will be encountered in this array. We will come out of the loop, and now we have the length of the string as 6, or sorry 7. Welcome has 7 characters, so we have the length of the string as 7. Now we are going to get into the logic of reversing the string. When I is equal to 0, we are taking the first character. Length by 2 is 7 by 2, that means 3.5. From that 0.5 will be discarded. Length by 2 will be 3. Okay, so the loop will execute for 0, 1 and 2. I value 0, 1 and 2. So first time what should happen? W and this last E should be exchanged. So the first character we are copying into temporary variable. That means W is copied into temporary variable. You see the ASCII value here and followed by the character value. Okay, every character has a corresponding integer value that is called the ASCII value. So W has 119 as the ASCII value. Now we are putting W into temporary variable. Then to the first location of the array we are putting the last character. So second line. See, last character was E and first character was W. That W is replaced with the last character. Now in the last location, len minus I minus 1 give me the index of the last location in the array, excluding the slash 0. We don't consider the slash 0. We are not touching that. There we put W because temp has value W that we are putting there. Now first and last characters are exchanged. First character becomes E, last character becomes W. Okay. Now next iteration of the loop I is equal to 1. So we consider the second character. This should be exchanged with this character. So we put E in temporary variable, then take the second last character 7 minus 1 minus 1. So it is 5. At index 5 we have M as the index 5 means sixth character of the string. So we have M here that will be put into second location, and in the second last location E is put. So this is going to repeat one more time. With that L will be exchanged with L will be exchanged with O. L will be exchanged with O. And this one C, since it is odd length is 7, the middle character C need not be exchanged. Middle character C will need not be exchanged. So this is exchanged with this, E is exchanged with this, L is exchanged with O, C need not be exchanged since the length is odd. When it is even, we will have one more character. Even length, we will have one more character, and this character will be exchanged with that. But the same logic is going to work for both the cases. So I hope it is clear how it is working. Simple only, but it's quite effective. It gives you the reverse of the given string. So I'll execute this program. Not in debug mode. So reverse the string is this. So if I want to take the input from the user, I will take the input from the user only. I get the reverse of the string. Length of the string is 5. It works for that. If length of the string is even also, it is going to work. Okay. So this is reversing the string. Now we are left with one more string operation that we need to do without using built-in function. That is string compare. Comparing two strings. So again we will go to the slide and try to understand how that logic works. Okay. So we already know that comparing two strings, there are three possible outcomes. One, if both the strings are exactly same, the result will be 0. If the first string should appear alphabetically before the second string, then the result is a value less than 0, normally -1. So if the first string, this kind of input, this is first string, this is second string, the output should be -1. Okay, and now if the second string should appear before the first one, that means this scenario of alphabetically, this should be coming first. In that case, output will be greater than 0, a positive value. So we will positive value, a value greater than 0, typically +1. So if the second string precedes the first string in alphabetic order. So same thing we are going to trying to achieve using a program. Okay, now I'll explain how that logic works. There are different scenarios actually. One is strings are equal two strings are equal. Okay, so what happens is we keep on comparing the corresponding characters. I have two strings now, s1 and s2. We keep on comparing two strings until we find /0, because since /0 is there in the at the end of the string, until we find /0 we keep on comparing. So we compare these two, h and h, both they are equal. Then we cannot arrive at a judgment whether which one is coming first or later, or whether they are equal. We cannot come to a conclusion. We consider the second character, they are also equal. Third character, they are also equal. Fourth also equal. Fifth, all the characters are equal, and we find /0 in both cases. In both cases we find /0 after the character at index 4. In that case we can conclude that both the strings are equal. That is one basic case. Both the strings are of equal length and all the corresponding characters are matching. Okay, that is one scenario. So in this case what we are going to print is 0, because both are equal. Now, so what if h? First, this will be compared. The first characters of both strings are compared. Alphabetically, capital H should be coming before the small h. Now, by comparing these two characters itself, we have discovered that this string should be coming first and this should be coming later alphabetically. So we don't need to compare further. The final decision we can take by comparing the first two characters only. Okay, now another scenario, we have p. H is compared with, so basically the ASCII value corresponding to h and p are going to be compared. Since capital P comes after capital H, the ASCII value of this will be smaller than ASCII value of P. Okay, so on comparison we find that H is less than P. H is less than P, and we can take a decision immediately. This string should be coming first and this should be coming later. So in that case what we will print? We will print -1. So whenever first string should be appearing before the second string alphabetically, we are going to print -1. So in this case we will print -1. Now what if it is in reverse order? Alphabetically, which should be coming first? This string or this string? S1 or S2? Alphabetically, this should be coming later. This should be coming first, right? So since my second string is alphabetically coming before the first string, the output should be -1. Okay, we are going to call the function, whichever function we are considering. We are going to pass s1 comma s2. This is string compare function. For the built-in function is string compare, but we are giving a general name. So if the second string appears alphabetically before the first string, the result should be plus 1. Okay, result should be plus 1. So here this should be alphabetically coming before the first string S1. So the result will be plus 1. Okay, in this case the result will be minus 1. In this case both the strings are equal, the result will be 0. Okay, now suppose that I have a P here. What will be the outcome? How the logic proceeds is compare first two characters. Since both are equal, we cannot judge which string is going to come first, because we need to consider all the characters then. If we cannot clearly arrive at a decision with from the first character, then we have to consider all the other characters, subsequent characters. So E and E, they are compared, so both are equal, so we cannot arrive at a decision now. We are going to consider the third characters from both the strings L and P. So alphabetically L will be coming first, right? L, M, N, O, P. So that means in the alphabetic order this string should be coming before this string. The result will be minus 1. Result will be minus 1. Don't consider this input. We got a differing character. Here it is L. Since till this point both all the characters are same, corresponding characters are matching, here we are finding a difference. So L is less than P, because L, M, N, O, P, alphabetically L is less than P. So this string should be appearing first. So the result will be minus 1. So when both the strings are equal, this is the scenario. All both the strings are equal, this is the scenario where if all the both the strings are equal length, we keep on comparing the corresponding characters. If they are equal, we will look for the next character. Likewise, we keep on doing it until /0 arrives or there is a difference between the corresponding characters. If without any difference, if the /0 arrives, we conclude that both the strings are equal, exactly same. If there is any character, corresponding character differing, at that point of time we can decide based on which character appears first and which character appears later. Based on that we can decide the string, the total string, whether it should come before the second string, first string should come before, or first string should come after the second string. Based on that we are going to display the value. Okay, now what if the length of the strings are differing? Length of the strings are differing. So I have a longer string here /0. In this case we keep on comparing the corresponding characters. If any characters are differing, immediately we can take a decision. We don't need to consider further. But if both characters are matching, corresponding characters are matching, we have a problem. So in this case also we can take a decision from here only. L is appearing before P, so this whole string should be coming before the second string. But the problem is, if all the characters are equal and one string is longer than the other string, so until this point of time the corresponding characters are equal. Now here suddenly second string is over, but this string is not over. At index 5 we have a character, not /0, we have a character, but this is over. In this case what is the conclusion? From the length, if the length of the first string is longer than the length of the second string, and until that point of time all the characters are matching, this string should be appearing before the first string. So in that case the result will be 1. Second string should appear before the first string. Now what if the other scenario? This is longer, this is longer, and this is shorter. So until there are characters other than /0, until that point of time all the characters are matching, and suddenly here this string is over, but this string is not yet over. There are few more characters here, one character extra is there. In that case, alphabetically this should be coming first, so we will print the result as -1. As alphabetically S1 should be coming first before S2. So in that case the result will be -1 for a function called like this. Okay, so multiple scenarios are there. What we do is we keep on logic is we keep on comparing the corresponding characters. Whenever if there is a difference, it is easy to decide immediately. When we are finding a difference, we conclude that whether the second string should appear or first string should appear first. If all the characters are matching, then we have to look until we find a difference or we find the end of the string. Here we don't find any difference until this point of time, and suddenly this string is over, this is not over, so alphabetically this should be coming first. This is the logic we are going to apply. Okay, so we'll see the code now, how we are implementing this. It may sound little tricky, but if you understand, what we are simply doing is we are taking the corresponding characters. We use an index variable. When I is equal to 0, we consider these two characters and compare them. When I is equal to 1, we consider these two characters and compare them. If there is a difference, we immediately make the conclusion, we are done. But if they are matching, we need to keep on taking next character like that. Corresponding characters from both the strings. That's what we are going to do. Then finally, we have to account for the length aspect also. Suppose if the length of two strings are not matching, how to handle that? We'll go to the code. We are taking we have two strings, say 10 two arrays of 10 size, and we are taking the input from the user. Okay, now the first part of the logic is this: I is equal to 0, s1 of I not equal to /0. That means as long as s1 of I is not ended and s2 of I not equal to /0, that means we are checking, this loop will be executed when both the strings are not ended. S1 of I not equal to /0 means first string is not over. S1 of I will become /0 when the first string is over. So if first string is not over and second string also not over, we are going to execute the loop body. Okay, both are not over, so that is the scenario we are covering here. In this case, the loop will execute until we process this many characters, first 6 characters. So if both strings are not over, until this point of time both strings, when we consider this first characters, both strings are not over. Here when we consider the second character, both strings are not over. So as long as both strings are not over, we are going to execute the loop body. When one of the string is over, we are going to come out of the loop, or both the strings are over, then also we are going to come out of the loop. So the loop will be executed, this loop will be executed only until both strings are not over. Either one string is over, first string is over, or second string is over, or both are over, we are going to come out of the loop. Okay, so when I is equal to 0, we check s1 of I not equal to /0. In this case, suppose our first string is hello. First string is hello. This is also hello. Okay, so when I is equal to 0, we consider h and h, and what we are doing is first character of the first string is less than the first character of the second string. Okay, assume that we are having p here. We are checking. We are checking h less than p. This is this s1 0 is h, s1 s2 0 is p. H is less than p because h I j k l m n lm like that it is coming. So immediately we conclude that the first string hello should be appearing before hello. What we do? Print -1 and stop. Nothing else will be executed. We are concluding by checking the first character only. We are concluding that both are differing. First string should be alphabetically coming before the second string. Okay, now you take another scenario. It's not, it is A or D. It is D. First character is H, second string first character is D. So here H less than D is checked. H less than D is false, right? D should be coming before, alphabetically D should be coming before H. So the number, the ASCII value of D is smaller than ASCII value of H. So S1, so H less than D will be false. It will be something like, say, 65. The ASCII value, if you consider, it will be like 69 less than 65 is what we are considering. This is H, this is D. ASCII values. It may not be the exact ASCII value, I don't remember that. Now H less than D is false, alphabetically also, ASCII value also. So this will not be executed. Now we are checking H greater than D. H greater than D is true. So immediately we conclude that second string should be coming before the first string. So what we print? We print a positive value +1. Print 1 and stop. Suppose the first character is matching. Only the second character is differing. Second or any subsequent character is differing. So I have A here. What will happen? Initially both H and H is compared. So we don't do the comparison. We are looking for difference actually. H less than H is false. So this will not be executed. H is actually equal to H. So this will not be executed. H greater than H is also false. So this also will not be executed. So both the if statements within the loop body are not going to be executed. And what we do? We increment the value of I and go to the next iteration of the loop. Now we consider E. When I is equal to 1, we consider this character and this character. So E less than A, we are checking. E less than A is false. Now we check E greater than A. We are considering the ASCII value of E and A. So E greater than A is true. That means this string should be appearing before the first string. Second string should be appearing before the first string. So hello should be appearing hello before hello. So in that case we print +1 and stop. So okay, so we will not further, the return 0 means our main program is exiting. We will not process further. Okay, this is how this loop works. This is how this loop is going to work. Now if we cannot judge within this loop, that is the scenario when we have here. Within the loop, we compared all the corresponding characters, all are equal. We could not make a decision. And then /0 comes for the first string. When /0 comes for the first string, we have s1 dot I, s1 I not equal to slash 0 is the condition for executing the loop. But when this is evaluated to false, we are going to come out of the loop. Once we come out of the loop, we have a simple if else statement. We check s1 of I equal to 0 and s2 of I equal to slash 0. That means both the corresponding characters are slash zeros. That means both the strings are over or not. If both the strings are over, we will say that the strings are equal. Both the strings are over, we will say the strings are equal. Because here we found there is no difference between the corresponding characters and both the strings are over also. No difference. That is the case when we have both hello. All the corresponding characters we compared within the loop and both the strings are over also. So if both the strings are over, we print 0 because it indicates that they are equal. Now if that is not the case, we will check which one is over. That is checked by here. Checked here. We will check first one is over. Here if it is executing this, both are over. If it is not executing means one of them is over, one of them is over. We will check whether first one is over. If first one is over, that means second one is longer than the first one. So first one should be appearing first. If first one is over, if both are over, the strings are equal. Print 0. If first one is over, that means second one is longer than first string. That is why first one is over. So that should be coming first. We print -1. If that is also not the case, we are left with only one case. First one is not over, second one is over. Second one is the smaller string, that is over. So in that case, we will print +1. So in this case, first one is over, second one is not over. So we will end up in this case. First one is over, second one is not over, and the common characters are matching. So because of that, we will print -1. Okay. So if in case of the other, if the strings were in the reverse order, if this was not over and this was over, we would say -1. That is what we are printing here. No, we would say first one is, if this was not over and this was over, that means this should be coming first. So we will be printing +1. We will be printing +1. Okay, so time is over. We'll just brush up this idea in the next class also, and you can join the other your next class. We'll end the class here. Oh, yeah. Thank you.